Oh, man.
And we are now live to YouTube only. G'day, guys, all in YouTube. Who have we got tonight? Let me just see. Let me just flick through. Okay, we have Fix It Fingers here, also known as Zalgaroth. How you going, buddy?
G'day.
Fix It Fingers, guys. If you don't know who Fix It Fingers is, he is now a proud sponsor of the Oz Geomaster. He does a lot of timber work with path tag holders and geocoin holders and stuff too, which will be awesome. We have Gazkirsch, as always, is in the house. G'day, buddy.
G'day, Gazkirsch. And Co, I'm assuming.
Yeah, of course. Little Miss Longlegs and Little Miss Left would be with him.
Yay. Hello.
We have Graham Milburn, also known as Grub Fred. He's finally on live.
Hey, Grub. Hey.
You've joined us live, mate. G'day. Who else we have? Of course, Kathleen Hicks, also known as Kitty Catch, is in the house.
Hey, Kitty Catch.
Julie Arnold is here as well, also known as Angel G, I do believe. Oz Fox is here. Maddie RX is here. Maddie Rickson. Let me see who else. What are we going through? Guys, just to let you know, we're still waiting on our special guest. He's downloading something at the moment, so he'll be on very, very soon. Paul Griffin's here as well. Griffo. That's Griffo. I'm sure it would be.
Hello.
Kai Zabra's here as well. And there's Little Miss Longlegs. She's there.
Hello.
Ash Bush, mate. Hubby and Mrs. Tattooed Squared, Frazee Days, Benj Ward. The Bebbies are here as well. John Burke, Matthew Mole, welcome. You're Matt from Formal. I know now. Good to see. Yes, guys. So make sure, guys, you grab your. Thanks for letting us know, Gazkirsch. Make sure you grab your favorite beverage, guys. Get it all ready, whether it be alcoholic or non-alcoholic one. Probably, if you want to hear my voice, it has to be alcoholic. But anyway, and we'll be starting very, very, very soon with the live recording.
Very, very.
Anyway, so No Tomorrow's here as well. I've sort of haven't really.
Yeah, how rude.
I had to go through. How's our special guest coming along? Have you contacted him at all?
I am messaging at the moment, back and forth, trying to find out what's going on.
Awesome. Well, we'll start with him very soon.
Contact at least.
Oh, that's good. Geo Ninja, also known as Lee737, has just jumped in as well.
Hello.
Oh, you're off to get junior caches into beds though. Oh, 7:30, nice and early. Yeah. It's a school night. It is a school night. You kind of forget about school nights and stuff when you don't have school kids to get off to school the next day, and you don't have work the next day either. I'll just say.
Oh, lucky you.
I know, right? I know.
I can't talk. I don't have work for a few weeks.
Yeah.
More on that soon.
Yeah, we'll discuss. Obviously, we're going to. So tonight, guys, we're going to be discussing a lot of numbers, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent. And the person or the people we're actually talking to tonight, hopefully they get on soon, are really quite well known for their numbers in both good and bad ways, I suppose you could say that. But yes, so they'll jump on very, very soon. So let's see. Actually, Fix It Fingers, he's in Aldi at the moment, watching us live from Aldi.
I love it.
Oh, Berry Unicorns is here as well. Yes, I met those guys the other day at the Newcastle events, actually. The GC New South Wales Newcastle events. Berry Unicorns were there. So I think there was two young girls. One was the bear and one was the unicorns. That's why they're Berry Unicorns. It was pretty cool.
That's not going to work. Okay, sorry. Give me a second.
That's all right. How's he going?
Yeah, no. He's trying to message me now, which is not going to work. On the wrong email address. Okay. Can I do an invite in off this?
Yeah, I can do it again if you like. Does he?
Please do.
Yeah. Okay. Bear with us, guys. Technology sometimes is a good and bad, I suppose you could say. Let me just jump in again and Control V and tell him as well. Now it's in the messenger group to come in via that link
group. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I just private messaged him the direct link to to the show. All right. Well, look, we might get a start anyway. No, tomorrow. What do you think? And then if
let me finish typing this text.
Yeah. All right. I'll still chat to who's in the chat room. Urban Cowgirl's here. I didn't see you join up. Ash Bush, mate. Have you tried? No, tomorrow. Ash Bush from New Zealand says, has he tried turning it off and back on again? And grab Fred. This is a perfect. Give him a martini quick. He needs a martini. I think he does, mate. So those of you who are unaware of tonight's guest, we do have Peter and Cath Pprass, known as Pprass in the geocaching industry, and they're going to jump in and join us. Very, very well-known geocachers throughout New South Wales and Australia and the worldwide, actually. So it'd be good to get them and chat about some numbers with them. So, what are we up to at the moment? What is he up to?
Can you actually on your Hangouts page invite him in at his email address by any chance directly onto
yes,
the Hangout?
I'll do that again.
Just his email address directly onto the Hangout. Except that worked the other day.
Direct? No, I can't. No, all I can do is send him an email. Okay. And the other way I can do it is with a direct link to Messenger group. That's it. So, yes. Yes, definitely will, Kitty Catch. Yep. Clearwaters has gone mega since our last chat, and we'll be discussing about that too. Don't you worry about that one. Yeah, there's a lot to discuss with the large events that are happening coming up, because there's another one that not many people know about yet, not even you, NT. I haven't discussed it with you. Here it is.
Yes.
Who's this? Here he is.
Yes, it's working.
Here he comes.
All right, now we need the microphone to work.
Yep, we need his microphone on, and we need them to sit closer together. I know they've been married for a long time, but they've got to sit closer together.
We can't quite see you both in the shot.
There we go.
Yes, we have.
Now let's see.
Craig, introduce.
Okay, hang on. Before we do, can we hear them? Can they hear us? Peter, Cath.
Yep.
Yes.
Hang on a sec. I'm going to turn up the volume a bit.
Okay, there we go.
We can hear you. Yes.
We can hear you. Yes.
Good.
Can you hear us fine?
Crap. Yes.
All right. We've gone live already to the YouTube channel. So Peter and Cath. Yep, make sure your phones are on silent. We've gone live to the YouTube. Mine is? Yeah, mine is. We've gone live to the YouTube channel first, guys. So we've just been waiting for you. We've been chatting to some of the live ones. We haven't actually started the actual live recording yet. So we're going to be recording it very, very soon. And in the meantime, actually,
let's just quickly fill them in on some of the people we have got in the chat room.
Can you do that for me?
I can't remember them all. You were the one just going through.
Oh, that's right, because I've got them up here.
Sorry.
Okay, some of the people there, Peter and Cath, we have Zal Goliath. We've got let's see, Ozfox, Matty Rickson, Gaz Kirsch, Grub Fred, Griffo, Kaizabra,
Kungula. Did you say
Kungula? Is Kungula in there too?
Yep, they sure are. They're just coming.
They've joined in. Tattooed Squared, Kitty Catch. There's a heap in there, so which is awesome to see. So that's in the live chat room at the moment, and we're going to go live now. There's quite a few.
Yeah. Hello, everybody.
So Peter and Cath, say hello to everyone that's live.
Hello.
Good time this evening.
Crossing fingers, we'll make it right. Don't worry about that. All right, let me just get the music playing just for let's see, playlist. I didn't even have this one set up. Had everything else, but I know, right? How bad am I?
It's okay. We're only 10 minutes behind.
That's okay.
That's not too bad.
Not for us.
No, it is for anyone in the United States trying to watch us, because it'll be really late.
True.
Does your feed keep on?
No, that's your feed that keeps on pausing. So, are you on Wi-Fi?
Yeah.
Yep.
NBN.
Oh, that's why NBN. Jeez. It's all right, mate. It's all right. We'll make it work either way. All right, guys, stand by. let me just play some little bit of music here for you, and let's get a start on the Geocaching Down Under podcast. G'day, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Geocaching Down Under podcast. I am your host, C. Michelle, and we've got a couple of special guests tonight. But first of all, big warm welcome to No Tomorrow. How are you going?
Hello. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad right now.
What's been happening in your world since we last spoke?
Oh, I've had some exciting adventures, actually. Yep, one of them being a car accident.
Oh, that's right. That was after the last podcast, wasn't it? So, how have you been going with everything, though?
Yeah, pretty much I got a broken wing, and I'm grounded.
Yeah.
But I've got a broken collarbone.
Oh, ouch! Look at that! Look at that!
Yes.
Have you still been getting out to grabbing some caches, though?
That's correct. Now, okay, so I was feeling very down that I was stuck and not being able to get out because I have no car and I can't drive.
Yeah.
But I'm very, very grateful for geo buddies like yourself being able to help me get outside and play, which has been so good. Thank you.
Yes.
And some headspace.
and I do believe that you hit a milestone, didn't you not?
Oh, I did just before my crash.
Yeah. What was that?
Milestone, not a very big one. So I had this really, really, really small New Year's resolution for geocaching to at least get 1 month streak. So I actually hit 31 days the day before I had my accident.
So technically you hit 31 days, then you hit a bus. Oh, sorry, my bad. All right. We're also joining us tonight, guys, all the way from Port Macquarie in New South Wales. They're a great geocaching couple, very knowledgeable regarding numbers of all different types. We have Peter and Cath, also known as Pprass. G'day, guys. How you going?
Oh, thank you. Hello.
So if people don't know, then obviously there's Peter and Cath.
On your show.
Thanks, mate. Thanks. So Peter and Cath. So Pprass. Cath is the C in Pprass. Is that right?
Is it Cath or Cat?
C-A-T.
Cat.
Oh, it's Cath. I've always said Cath. It's not Cath?
No.
I've always said Cath. How bad is that? Oh, wow. Oh, well, Cath, I do apologize for all these years. Anyway, either way, you're the C in Pprass. So. All right, guys, let's get into some geocaching news right after this break. I won't play the music on here. I don't think it's just not right.
We'll play the music later.
Yeah. You can actually we can
Come
sing it.
From
next
land
time.
down under.
That's the one.
All right, let's move on.
Let's move on. All right, guys, welcome back. Geocaching news. Now, in the news, don't forget your will attends and registrations and plan your trips, as always, on not 3, but are you ready for this, NT? The next 4 major events in Australia. That's right. You heard right. 4, not 3. I've only got 3 in the show notes. So, firstly, we have in April the Clearwaters event, or should I say the Clearwaters Mega?
Yes.
So between our last show, which we actually had Greg on, and this show, Clearwaters is officially turned mega. It's got the big M symbol on there. It's good to see, good to hear, and it's so good that everyone got behind it. You're going down, aren't you, NT?
I sure am. Yep.
Yeah. What about you guys, Peter and Kat? And Kat, are you guys going down to the Clearwaters mega event?
Days and then 8 days and then staying a little bit after that as well.
Oh, of course. Well, you guys, how often do you work now, Peter?
What was that? I think you're cutting out.
Sorry, mate. How often do you work now? How often do you work now? Aren't you retired? Oh, see, NBN. NBN doesn't stand for National Broadband Network. That's all right. That's all right. Anyway, either way, just to let everyone know, Peter's actually retired. So hence the reason why him and Kat can just, travel over the countryside, just like the Leyland brothers used to.
I'm going down early as well, actually.
You are? When are you going down?
Yeah, because I'm not working either because I can't work with this.
Oh, you can't? So when are you going down?
I will actually be going down on the Sunday, Monday before the mega event.
Yes.
Because I'm going to an engagement party on the Saturday.
Oh, awesome. So it's two birds, one stone. That's
Correct.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
So yeah, go to one event and then go to the next.
All right, getting back into it, we also have then the Oz Geomuster, which is also a mega event in July in Wollongong. Now, people don't know about this one yet, I don't believe, but we have the new WA Goes Big.
Yeah.
The details. Did you know that? I didn't. I just got this.
No.
I got a text message seriously like 5 minutes ago.
Oh.
Now, the next WA Goes Big is in Northam in WA, and it's on the 1st to the 3rd of June. So the 1st to the 3rd of June, it's the Western Australia's long weekend, apparently. So 1st to the 3rd of June in Northam in WA. So that's actually before the Oz Geomuster.
Yeah,
so the month before the Oz Geomuster.
I'm going to get to that one. Oh,
over in WA, I know.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I wanted to try and get to a WA Goes Big, so I'll have to maybe go next year.
Yes. I've been. I went a couple of years ago, and it is lots of fun. It's super fun. But then obviously the last on the planner now this time for 2009 is the St Arnaud's event down in Victoria. So guys, make sure you place your will attends, register, and plan your geocaching trips now. So, in other news, did everyone get that email from HQ? NT, did you get yours?
Well, it depends on what you're talking about. Because I've received emails.
Sorry, I'm referring to the upcoming souvenirs of cache creation celebration.
I did get that, yes.
What about you guys, Peter? Did you guys get that email as well for the cache celebration?
We did. This by Gaz Kirsch.
Ah, yes.
Oh, yes, yeah. He shares it on a lot of Facebook pages, which is pretty cool. So what I can see is this. There's going to be 5 souvenirs over a 3-week period from the March 25th to April 14th. Now, this actually celebrates quality over quantity, I do believe, because you get extra points for finding the high favorited caches. At the same time, it also gives you points for earning a favorite point on your own caches. So, Peter, for instance, you've got a cache out there at the moment, and I go and find your cache, and I personally think it's deserving of a favorite point. I give it a favorite point between this period of time, and you get extra points. How good is that?
Bribe you.
You will, mate. You will. So that's pretty cool. So that will give you 4 souvenirs, I do believe, in a point system tiered. So, like, I don't know. I don't think they've advertised it yet, but like 10 points you get the first souvenir, 20 points for the second, and 50 points for the third, or 100 for the fourth, something like that. I do believe, but they haven't advertised it yet. But there is a bonus souvenir. So there's these cache celebration events that are coming out as well. And you get a bonus souvenir for attending these cache celebration events. So make sure you check all your local areas, because there'll be someone placing a cache celebration event near you. Have you heard about an event in Port Macquarie at all yet, Peter or Cath?
No, we missed all of that.
Oh, we're talking about the cache celebration events.
This going on. Yeah, there's an event March, and I think also on the 31st of March.
Oh, okay, and it says cache celebrations and crickets. No,
I might know how to help him.
Yeah,
might have to give me a moment.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, what?
Let's interrupt for a second.
Yes,
we can cut this out of the thing.
We'll have to cut this out for the actual podcast.
Okay, Peter. On your video screen, if you move your mouse up on the top there, do you have like a picture with a microphone, a video camera? Now the one in the middle is bandwidth. Now, if you run your mouse over that and click it, you can reduce those bars down to medium or lower. That might help you.
It's on. It's on.
Yeah, you're still dropping out. I didn't catch that. Sorry.
And now he's totally gone.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no.
No. That's not what I meant to happen. Trying to help. Okay, so the bandwidth thing was supposed to stay. Lower.
All right, that's right. We'll get back to. We might skip their little if they can get back in later. We'll do the interview with them after the numbers. What do you think?
Yes, sounds good.
I think that's.
It
I know tech
would have been
support.
good to have them chatting with it. Oh.
I know. We also forgot as well, guys, in the live chat room tonight, just in the live chat room and live chat room only on YouTube. Thanks to geostuff.com.au, there will be a prize. That's right. So stay tuned to the end of the show, and we can see which one of you guys is going to win an awesome geocaching prize from the one and only geostuff.com.au. I did forget to mention that before. So, all right, we'll just keep on moving away and moving on. Next up, guys, we have what we were going to have the interview with Peter and Cath, but we're going to have to change it again. So stand by, and we'll try and get them back up. In the meantime,
They're in. They're back.
They're back.
Yep, we're back.
They're back.
Video.
It's still very choppy. We can't really hear you properly. Sorry.
And they're gone again.
Oh. No, it's not working.
That's
well.
right.
Okay,
right,
let's move on.
Let's move on.
Okay.
So we're going to move on now, guys, without the actual interview itself. We're just going to talk about numbers, purely about numbers. So are you guys ready for some numbers? Stand by.
Ooh, all righty. Okay.
And welcome back. We are talking about numbers. NT, you love numbers, don't you? I'm sure you do.
Yeah, nah.
I'm not talking. See, this is the misconception I think people have. Some people think about numbers of being about their total finds, but it's not. Numbers.
No.
We deal with numbers every day. I mean, coordinates are numbers, aren't they?
Okay, so I like
numbers.
those ones because they lead me to geocaches. Yes.
Yes. So even so, any particular numbers we're talking about. So we're not talking about total finds here. Well,
Correct.
in sometimes we do, but other times we don't.
Yes.
Yeah. So things like, well, for instance, do you want to talk about the Facebook group? Because you did the poll.
Okay. So on our Facebook page, which is a Geocaching Downunder podcast, you can find that on Facebook or on Instagram. I did a poll, and unfortunately, it only gave me 2 options. So what I thought I would do is I'd look at numbers that we go geocaching with. So, for instance, 1, ourselves. Do you like to and prefer to geocache on your own or with a group or friends? And we had 50 votes come in.
Yeah.
24% prefer alone and 76% prefer together. Now, there were some people who chose not to vote because they like doing a bit of both.
Yes. I'd be one of those. I'm a bit of both person.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. What about yourself?
Yeah, I think a bit of both. I did a lot of geocaching on my own in the past, but I have started doing some with other people, and I am actually finding I enjoy that. So yeah.
Well, it's an extra set of eyes, or Sue, isn't it?
Yeah, I like the idea of being able to share the actual moment with somebody else as well. Like I've been out geocaching somewhere and it's been really awesome, and you just want to share that moment, and there is nobody there, and you go home to people who don't care about geocaching, and you got no one there to share it with.
Well, see, this is where I come in, and I geocache by myself, and I found an awesome cache like we did the other day, and I've then got Periscope.
Yes.
So I can then share the excitement and everything else with everyone else, and that's what I like about it too. So they're pretty cool. Yep. Actually, Kitty Catch in the chat room said, "What about power trails? Definitely do power trails in a group."
Yeah.
Definitely.
Otherwise it takes forever to do a power trail on your own. Because if you're driving, you have to drive, park the car somewhere safe, get out, do all the searching. You can't be like playing with your phone while you're driving either, or your GPS. So, definitely quicker.
Well, funnily enough, though, my 3 biggest days have been solo. Biggest numbers days have been solo. So
there you go.
Yeah. Okay, looks like we've got Peter and Cath back again.
Yep.
We think we're good now.
I think we're right.
Oh, look at that.
And we can hear you.
They sound so much better.
We're on board.
Oh,
Yay.
that sounds so much better. He's actually turned the NBN on. That's what it is.
I'm pedaling like mad.
All right, guys. We'll start that again. Welcome to Peter and Cath, also known as Pprass. Welcome, guys, and thank you so much for joining us on the Geocaching Downunder podcast. What have you guys been up to for the past month?
Oh, we've been very very slow the last month or so, haven't we?
Yeah, we went to Curry and
Curry. Oh, we went to
Fred's
Grub
event.
Fred's Hawaiian T-shirt event. That
That's
was a
right.
bit of fun.
Lovely.
Yeah, I actually had to buy a Hawaiian T-shirt, which is now in the bin.
What? Please, Peter, tell me. We'll talk about this later as well. Please tell me you made it a trackable.
No.
Those of you who don't know, Peter despises TBs. But anyway, we're more about that very, very soon.
Right.
We're going to start this interview now while the internet is actually good. Linda, do you want to hit him off? What's the first question for him?
All right. Okay. So I'm actually really intrigued. You guys have got a number of finds. How many finds have you guys actually up to at the moment?
Off the top of my head, it's 26,058.
26,058. See, that's a whole lot more than I have, which is only just over 1,000.
Well, we started in December 2003, so we've got a bit of a jump start.
You do indeed. Yes. Yeah.
We started. We actually found our cache 6 days after we logged on to geocaching, and we found a multi actually by Team Crackers, which they had this massive multi which we dived in on, and it was a very interesting situation because when we got to the final, I was counting down and couldn't find anything. It said 0 on the GPS, but there was nothing there. So I went rushing back home and got onto the forum and said, "How does this game work?" And I don't understand. I was there, 0, nothing. And this bloke wrote back and he said, "By any chance, did you see a stump about 3 meters away?" And I go, "Yeah, and your point is?"
You started on a multi.
I did, yeah.
And it was a camoed one as well. Well done.
Oh, it was a mouse.
and you got through it, and you're now still playing the game. It's great.
Well, yeah, and then shortly after there was an event in the mountains, and we fell in with a really good crowd of caches that we got on really well together. There was Macamob and Biggles Bear and Pyrenees Kid and Team Crackers, and we just got on really, really well with them. And they were always going out, and they showed us the way, so we followed suit.
That's pretty cool. So when was your first hide?
My first hide was a hide that about 8-9 months later, and I think I wrote, it was called Green Door to King's Paradise along the Sorrento walkway. It's a secret walkway, but the locals don't like you to go down. And it's actually a green door. And I think I wrote, "This is our first cache," while we're actually trying to work out what our real first cache was supposed to be, because I wanted to make it a little bit more interesting.
Is it still live today?
It's still live today, and people are absolutely fascinated by it because they're really hesitant to actually go through this green door. The green door is made to look like a fence because the locals really don't want you to go walking along this track, which is behind their mega $1 million properties.
Tricky. Yeah. So how many hides do you guys have now?
Well, we've got, when you look up on your statistic, it says 100.
Yeah.
But I think about 15 of those have been archived and 10 were events.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we've actually got about 75 caches that are active, and about 32 of those are in Victoria, and the rest are in New South Wales.
Mid-North Coast Wander series.
Oh, yeah, we've got 201 caches that we set up for the Mid-North Coast Wander. You did some of those, didn't you, Linda? And so did you, Craig.
Yes. Actually, I love that area and that location. I even placed an earth cache halfway along that Mid-North Coast Wander as well.
I know, and you made us go there and do it.
Yes, I did. Actually, this is from the chat room. Greg Shaw says that people are still in therapy after doing your front lawn cache in 2007.
Actually, he's referring to Tria.
Oh, so that Tria is Tria about numbers as well, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it means 3 in Greek, but Greg would have done that. That was outside of our place in Wanturna South, and that was quite highly favoured, that cache. And then when we left to come to Port Macquarie, I thought I'll resurrect it over here, and quite nicely. I think we got a New South Wales Cache of the Month for that.
I was about to say that. Yeah, Geocache New South Wales Geocache. I think it was for December, I believe. Geocache of the Month. October. Oh, was it? Either way, it was in this year that's coming up anyway. So, which will then be able to vote on it. So, if you guys haven't done Thea up in or across or wherever you're from in Port Macquarie, go in, do it, make sure you enjoy it, and give it a favourite point within that 3 weeks, so you can get extra points as well.
Excellent.
Within the cash carnival, yes.
See, it is all about now tomorrow. It is all about the numbers. It is all about the numbers. I'm just proving my point here.
There's no doubt that most people say that it's about the numbers, but I think there's a bit more to it than that. And I mean, for instance, we're about 12th or something, 13th in Australia, and we've got a lot of time. As you said, I'm retired. We could easily just go away for 3 months and do a heck of a lot of caches, all those power trails through New South Wales, Victoria, especially South Australia.
South Australia got a heap, yeah.
Get 15,000 caches, end up being second in Australia. But what's the fun in that?
Yeah, I agree.
You don't outside anyway.
There's lots of fun in it if you incorporate all the megas as you go around as well, because there's 3 megas this year in Australia.
Well, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing. We're going down to Queanbeyan, and then after that, we're heading down to do the Silo Trail down in Victoria.
Oh,
and then we were going to work our way back to go to that Wollongong trail, mega.
Yeah, the Wollongong mega. That's cool.
And we don't actually do power trails on our own that much. I don't think we've done 2.
A few.
But we just look at each other after a few and go, "Oh, this is not right." But so we prefer to do it in a group, and it's so much more fun in a group, because then you can grumble and no one. If you're not in a group, no one can hear you whinging. You know, you've got to have someone.
It's like that old saying, if a tree falls in the forest and no one hear
no one will hear it. You know, what's the point?
That's right.
Now, I'll be honest. I was actually earlier this year doing the Mid-North Coast Wander, and we did some with other people and in a group and with another person and stuff like that. And I really enjoyed doing that. And on the last day when I went to drive home, I did 5 and got bored.
Yeah.
And left them.
Yeah, that's it.
I had time. I had an hour up my sleeve to do something, and I just
Really?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Wow.
Yeah.
Even though it took you to some really wonderful places, didn't it, Linda?
Yes, it did. It actually did. It got this really cool track, and I had a really good 4-wheel drive at the time.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Did have. And it would have been a really good track to go on and everything. And I thought, nah, it's not fun on my own.
Yeah. And so if that's the case, then Peter, what's your favourite find then? Have you got a favourite out of all the thousands, the 20-odd thousand? Which one do you reckon would be a favourite? Which is a standout for you?
Well, the most memorable one was it was called Death in Venice, and it was when we were actually visiting Venice, and it was this massive multi that took 2 days, I think.
2 days, yeah.
And we visited so many places that tourists wouldn't go to. And we just trudged around, as walking. But anyway, we trudged around and found all these wonderful spots and met all these locals, because we didn't know some information. It was in Italian or something. We just asked random people. They all helped us. It was good fun. So that was probably the most memorable one. That was in 2004, June, I think, 2004. Wow. But another really memorable cache that we had was we organised a group to do a themed series of Ned Kelly caches. I'm really interested in Ned Kelly, and I set up a few caches based on Ned Kelly. And we got together with Marcus Vitruvius and Dazza, I think his name is. And we set up these caches based on Ned Kelly. And then there was another cache that ended up being, I think it was called Unknown, which... And to try and find that took us 4 days. And so we organised this group. It was actually an event. You're not supposed to have an event to do caching, but it was.
Whatever your camping event.
And we'd spent 4 days just going around from one camp to another, going around doing these caches around Beechworth and Goulburn. Was it Goulburn? No, not Goulburn. Anyway. And yeah, it was just a wonderful experience. We had a big group there as well. If turned up, he says in his log that it's one of the best caches or weekends that he's ever done caching, because in the end I wanted people to actually say whether they thought that Ned Kelly was a hero or a villain. And it was interesting, after all the information that I applied them, it was interesting to see what the results were.
Yeah.
I find it quite funny how multis, for instance, like multi-caches, a lot of people turn around and go, oh, it's a multi, oh, I got to do a multi. Not that many people do multis, but if you ask good geocachers or geocachers that have been doing it for a long while, multis are the most memorable. I mean, look at the one in middle of Sydney, for instance. You know, that's Geocache of the Year.
Governor's pleasure.
The Governor's Pleasure, that's right. That's
we love that. We did that in 2 days as well. That was so much fun. It was great.
What I'm saying is, don't dismiss multis, guys. Like, multis are worth it, I reckon. Meanwhile, Grub Fred has asked me to remind you about the help when they were in France and they couldn't understand the lingo. What's that one about?
Oh, he was in his hotel. There was a puzzle cache a few meters away from where he was, and he couldn't work it out. And he mentioned it on Facebook, and I just said, "Oh, give me a look." And I managed to work it out for him in 10 minutes. And I sent him the final coordinates, and he went and got
it. Did you say write my name on there too? Like,
yeah, I did.
I know you already. I know you. Well, let's go from our favourites then. What about your most memorable experience for the wrong reason? What was that for?
Ooh.
I think I know which one this is going to be.
Worst experience.
Oh, you do.
The worst experience I had. Cath wasn't there. She was having lunch, having drinks with her friends. I was paddling in a 2-man kayak on the Goulburn River near Alexandra in Victoria with a guy called Jeff from GDUP. And
yeah.
It all went belly up within 2 minutes of us going in the water, and I nearly drowned. It was just shocking because we were pushed. We tipped over. We were pushed with the willows, because there were willows in the river, and there were just the tops of the willows were showing because there was so much water. It was going so fast, and I got just smashed against these willows, and we lost the canoe. Well, I had to let go. Jeff took off. I was sinking. The water was about 10 degrees. It was just rushing. He takes off with the canoe because he couldn't hang on to the willow tree anymore. And then it got really, really, really bad, because you just don't know what to do. And, the chest is heaving and you haven't got breath and you haven't got the strength to do anything. And, and I didn't want to let go, because I knew that as soon as I got underneath those willows that, I'd be tangled up and that would be the end. And, that was by far the worst experience I ever had.
But more importantly, did you actually sign the logbook?
That's the other thing. Afterwards, we went, even if we didn't get tipped over, there was no way we were going to stop and say, let's get that cache. It was just like, there it is. It was just flowing. It was flowing so fast. It was hopeless. We just we're over enthusiastic because it was a terrain 5, and we thought, oh yeah, let's do this.
I mean, I know myself, there's plenty of terrain 5s around that actually do, like, through a nice river, or like one that doesn't flow that quick, for instance. Did you go there in time of flood or something, did you, Pete?
Yeah, well, they let out the gates at Eildon Weir, and they just let out all the water for irrigation, and it was running at about 3,800 megalitres, and it normally runs at about 1,000. So normally in winter, it's so low you can actually have to drag over the low bits of the river with the canoe to drag over.
Canoe,
yeah.
And when it's flowing like that, it's just horrific. You can't. We were thinking at one stage that we were going to go backwards. It was just hopeless. There's no way we could go backwards. We just had to go with it, with the flow.
Well, Matty RX in the chat room. I do believe that's Jeff from Gianna's son, and he basically said to me, he's just said in the chat room, you should stay away from Jeff. That's all he said. So I don't know what that was about, but yeah.
Is my best caching buddy now. Come on, man.
Well, I can say this, and I know this from a fact, that he is a much better tree climber than what you are, Peter.
Oh, what? When? What? What happened?
I don't think so.
Gio knows a much better tree climber. Like he used to be a what do you call it? A picker. A fruit
Oh,
picker.
yeah. He's probably about a third my weight too, by the way.
I'm glad you're still alive anyway.
I
I didn't think it was going to be.
Well, I saw Jeff down in Victoria. Yeah, he scaled this tree like there was no tomorrow. He didn't even blink an eye, and boom, up he goes like a little monkey. Yeah, monkey. Oh, it was great.
I've climbed up a few trees, haven't I, Cath?
Too many. Because when he gets up there, he says, I can't get down. I said, well, what do you want me to do? You know, you just have to get down. I can't do anything.
Figure it out.
You've got the rescue squad on speed dial, don't you, Cath?
Yeah, 000.
That's the one. Actually, I've seen you, Peter, as well. You've got gloves in your car, like riggers gloves.
Sometimes, yeah, I wear those. Yep.
Yeah, especially on the sappy trees, the pines.
That's right.
And stuff.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
I've seen you up a pine, and I still remember you looking for the cache. I come up and say hello, and then I find the cache on a tree that's about sort of 6 foot tall, right next door to that tree, and there's the bison tube sitting there while you're up the tree.
You got to try them all, you know.
Exactly. So did you guys ask? Do you guys prefer caching in a group or just by yourselves together?
Usually in a group.
Yep. I cache for the social bit of it as well as everything else. That's the most important bit to me. It's the social side of it.
So when we were in Victoria, we used to organise groups to go and do more adventurous and difficult caches, like going to the Grampians or the high country. We'd organise 4-wheel drive trips. We'd do camping trips, and that was just so much more fun because you're all helping each other together, and then we've got stories to talk about. You know, later on. You know, if you just do it on your own, you say, "Oh, I did this." They go, "Yeah, big deal."
Yeah, exactly. You don't realise until you actually see you halfway up a tree, and then and what a sight it is from underneath. I tell you, like.
Oh yes.
And T, did you want to? We're going to do some stats, aren't we?
Yeah, let's go ahead.
Didn't you grab some stats? What's going on there with the stats?
Yeah.
Don't forget the disclaimer. You got to do the disclaimer too.
All right, we're going to jump straight on into these stats,
straight into the stats.
All righty. Okay, so we have done some stats. We've gathered some stats from Project GC. Now, just an accuracy disclaimer here that the Project GC is not always up to date. So some of these may have changed slightly. Now, we did go through just today, and these have been updated from Project GC today, but they may not be up to date on actual GC.
That's right.
One discrepancy that I can bring up right now is the fact that apparently Pprass is from Victoria still.
Oh,
there
really?
you go. Yep. So you show up in the Victorian stats. There you go.
So I've been here 10 years.
So all I'm saying is that we've got some stats here. They may not be entirely accurate, so please don't be offended if your name comes up in the wrong spot.
Or if we've missed you totally, don't be offended either. Now, these stats, where are they going to appear if people want to see these later on? Are we going to put them out there?
Yes. I am actually going to put some of these stats together and put them as a picture or maybe a few pictures on our Facebook and Instagram pages. So if you want to see these stats that we're sharing now, they will be showing up there probably in the next 24 hours. So, yeah.
Awesome. Well, what do you want to start off with first? Which ones would you want to start off with first?
All right. Where shall we start?
Let's start with the actual geocaches themselves, the actual containers.
The containers,
hides.
correct. Yes, let's start with geocaches. All right. Yes. So one of the stats I've got here is, did I say geocache?
You did.
Geocache.
No.
Oh,
that's why I laughed. She said yes. Okay. Okay. I know. No tomorrow. I know Pprass. You guys say cache. Let me just say this, and I'll put it out there. readgc.com. It tells you how to say it, and it says cash like money.
They are Americans.
Yeah, they're not.
That's the American.
And that's who started it. That's the game we play. We play the American game. We play the worldwide game.
Oh. And how do they pronounce it in Germany?
They geocache with an accent. Geocache.
Okay, all right. Fair
And
enough.
ask,
All right,
ask,
let's move
ask
on.
the French and see what they say.
Lee geocache.
Cachet. It's from the word cachet. Hide.
Yeah, see, there you go. Wait. Yeah, anyway. All right, so geocache stats. We have first one we're going to go through is the top favorite points. Now, this is not a percentage top favorite points because there are some geocaches that have been hidden within 1 week and they've got 100% favorite points because one person found it and favorite pointed it.
That's right.
So I can't go off those stats. So we've gone with ones with the most favorite points.
Yeah.
And in Australia, this is for all states. Coming in at number 3 is Writers of Renown. So that one is actually not even a traditional, is it?
It's a virtual.
It's a virtual.
Yeah,
in Sydney.
it is too.
Sydney.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm going to guess that that's probably got a lot of logs because number one, it is a virtual and it's in a place where a lot of tourists go.
That's exactly right. It's right on the edge of the wharf there, and all of the tourists coming off the boats, they
Off
just
the
go,
boats.
it's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad one, actually, that one.
Everyone's
It's
going
not
to come
just-
see that area of Sydney and
That's right. Just to let everyone know as well, we're not going to mention any GC codes and all that sort of stuff here because it would take too long. Have a look at our Facebook page and Instagram page, and we'll put the GC codes along with those stats from there.
correct.
So,
Yes, correct.
Yep.
Correct. All right.
Number
So
2.
moving on to number 2 is Lane Cove. So Lane
Ah.
Cove. Do you want to talk about that one?
did you know that, Peter? What do you?
Well, yeah, but that's again only because it's the first cache in Australia.
Correct.
That's right. That's right.
We actually met the guy too who put the cache down. A fascinating
wow.
fellow to talk to.
Yeah.
He we asked him why did he continue to go caching, and he said that he put out that cache, waited for someone to find it. Someone did find it, and then that person who found it put out a cache. Paul then goes out to find that cache. He goes out into the bush, takes 2 steps into the bush, sees a snake, turns around, goes back home, and plays on his computer for the rest of his life.
I was gonna say I haven't seen him like cache. He's placed that one, the first one, and that's it. Like he doesn't.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
Never
was-
found a cache.
Wow.
He's,
Wow.
he's the definition of a geek, that guy. He's a nice fellow, but a complete geek.
Yeah. Not that that's a bad thing. Let's be
No, he's
honest.
not.
Like,
He's a
you
nice
know,
guy, but no,
we've got a lot of geeks play this game.
Now, and that's a virtual now too, isn't it? That one.
Yep.
Yes.
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 Yeah. So we've got
Yep.
2 virtuals in the top 3.
So what's number one? The number
one,
one
drum
favorite
roll.
point in Australia. Drum roll. What is
It
it?
is the Pheasant's Home.
Oh,
Oh, that's a
Yeah,
traditional.
that's what I thought. It's only got the most favorite points because it's so close to Sydney and it's on a popular, busy highway.
it's in a roadside stop, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And there's a lot more nicer caches and more tricky caches than that. So good luck to it.
Yeah.
Good luck to it.
Now
And
there were some good ones up there in the actual
There were.
top, 10s and 30s that I could see there. But
Yeah.
yes, those ones were our top 3.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, guys, don't forget, Project GC is where we get these stats from. So jump on to Project GC and have a look at the high favorited caches in your area, especially with the new souvenirs coming up. And you can then go and find out all high favorited caches in your area. That'd be cool. All right. Well, next up, we have the most logged caches. So this is with the highest number of logs.
Okay, so coming in at number 3, we have the coat hanger.
Oh, that's a traditional as well.
Is it?
Yes. Yeah, that's a traditional, that one. Yeah.
Hey, so that
Of
one.
course, it's in Sydney.
Yeah.
And again, as always, the reason why that's most logged is because it's right near the boat, like near where all the boats come in and out, you know, and it leads up to the actual harbour bridge.
There you go. All right.
There
And
you
then number 2 was Bring Your Rod, number 6 at the Melbourne Aquarium. Has anyone done that one?
No.
Yeah, I think we have.
Oh, yep.
I don't remember a great deal about it. But you? I don't remember why that would be. That's so much. I mean, it's in the centre of Melbourne, but I don't understand why it would have so many logs.
Yeah.
So this is just about the logs. That's all this one is.
Yeah, the number of logs that it's received. So yeah, and number one is Writers of Renown. Renown.
So that's the most logged in Australia.
Correct.
So that's the virtual. That's the virtual.
That's the virtual. Yeah.
It's
That's
had
right.
the most logs on it. Now, speaking of logs, I just wanted to mention that I think another stat would be the largest word count in a log would probably go to if.
Oh, absolutely.
I love if logs. When I get a geocache and it says that's been found, like if I'm like excited to read what's in the log, because his logs are not just a lot of words, they're good quality words as well. I love it.
I'd like to make a little adjustment to that. It's not how many words, it's how many emoticons he's used. He sprinkles them all over the place.
Well, there's only a certain amount of words you're actually allowed to use in a log. I do believe it's around 300, I think.
Is that right?
There you go.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. And the only reason why I knew that is because of this one challenge cache I did. I had to cut and paste the lines. And there's only it said too many words. So that's the only reason why I knew that.
Well, we've got a cache that we found. It was a 5.5 and it was 690 words. That we put in because you had to list all of the information. You know how you have to with those challenge caches, you have to put in all of the caches, and then we decided to actually explain why we chose those particular caches, which was a lot of fun to do. Going back to the whole blog.
And that's the old challenge caches. Nowadays, the challenge caches have to have a checker on it, and all you have to post is I qualify. That's all you have to post.
Yeah.
So it's very different compared to what it used to be. I'm sure, Peter.
Yeah, I use paper and pen still. No,
I heard it was a stone, wasn't it? No.
Yeah.
Hey, what about our first hides in Australia then? What was the very first hides in Australia? Whereabouts are they?
All right, so the third find, we'll go with the third and we'll move up to the very first one, all right? So the third hide in Australia was called Queen's Land. I
wonder where that is.
Yep. Oh, I know.
Western Australia.
Actually, just quickly, Tank Engine's in the chat room, and he's just said that it's 4,000 characters is the maximum log length. So 4,000 characters. So it's not on word length; it's characters. So thank you for that, Tank Engine.
There's another number for us.
Actually, Tank Engine should stay in the chat room because I think he gets mentioned soon.
He does need to stay in there. Yeah,
he does. Yeah. So number two, what's number two?
Number two is Victoria's first, in brackets, Melbourne's first.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You found that
one? That's a nice one. Actually, we I don't know. You know that Pprass family coin that we've got, Craig?
Yes. The one I've had a photo with.
Yeah, that's it. And we got the guy who did that cache, George, I think his name was, and also Paul. So if you want to go back through the history, you'll see those two guys that actually put out Victoria's first and and Lane Cove one.
Wow, that's pretty cool. That's actually really cool.
Yeah, so we've got some history there.
Yes, you do. And number one.
Speaking of Lane Cove, there it is. Lane Cove.
Number one. Lane Cove's number one, of course.
Yep, in Sydney.
New South Wales, Sydney. Yep. That's right. That's right.
Let's move on. Sorry, I'll tell you another little thing that people should do is try and find each cache, the first cache in each state.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
And territory.
That's on my list of things to do.
Right.
Yes, definitely. Yeah, that's a bucket list. And there should, I think there is there a challenge cache out there for that? Or I'm not sure. It wouldn't be allowed now, but.
I don't know because, you'd have to find how many people, you'd have to find about 10 people that have done it, which might be hard to do. And also the South Australian one is no longer that. The very first one went missing, or they archived it, and then they resurrected it as a replacement, a little bit like Lane Cove. Because Lane Cove was originally a box, and now it's just virtual.
Now it's a virtual.
Yes.
That's right. Interesting. And next up, we have, what else do we have next?
We've got
the actual people.
Geocachers.
The actual geocachers. That's right. The people and the players.
Yes. The player.
Oh, can I start? Can I start this one? I just saw the show notes.
Yeah.
First one we're going to talk about is the top streaks. Now, everyone knows I'm on a streak at the moment. I'm currently 9th in Australia. I couldn't believe it. I'm 9th in Australia on my streak. I'm just over 1,200 days straight.
My gosh.
But I am going to, because my streak ends soon, believe it or not. And so I'll be remaining the 9th until other people come ahead of me from there. So I'm happy with 9th. That's top 10 for me. That'll do me.
Fantastic.
Well done. Congratulations on getting up there.
But anyway, enough about that. Who's number 3?
You go for it. You tell us this time.
Okay, the third, and I know these 3 very well. Third in Australia is known as Snoopy 1976.
Ooh.
So they've got 2,049 days straight.
Wow.
2,049, and that's the third. So number two, and I do believe number 2's actually stopped his streak, and that's none other than Bella at Waggy.
Oh, yeah.
So he's stopped his, and he stopped his at 2,222.
My gosh.
As always, we've all got to. If we're going to stop, we're going to stop on a particular number that's either related to us or something. So all the 2s is good for him. And number 1, drum roll, we have Riz 768. Now Riz has been streaking for quite some time, and she's on 2,402.
That is amazing. Seriously, I did 1 month and found that hard.
What about you guys, Peter and Cath? You guys streaked at all?
Absolutely hopeless. Where we are now, we've done everything within about 80 Ks.
Yeah.
So the only time that we can actually do a streak is when we go on a trip. And we did one big trip in 2011, and we went over to Western Australia, went right up the west coast, and we got to 81 days.
Ooh,
and there was one cache that we had to do, which was just north of Broome, and then we were going to be able to go the next day somewhere close to Darwin, and then we were going to go into where all the caches were. And we got to that one in Broome, and it got washed away. There was nothing there, and we didn't have a replacement or nothing. And that was it. It's just all over. So we will never, ever. So, all those challenge caches where you have to do 366.
Yeah.
All that. We'll never, ever achieve those challenge caches.
Unless we're on the road permanently.
And when we're talking about streaks too, we're talking about number of days in a row, not the beaches that you go to, Peter. So
there's only one here.
All right, next up we have the D. Actually, this one's for you guys too. DT loops. Now, those of you who don't know, a DT loop is you've got difficulty and terrain. I believe there's 81 boxes in total for a DT loop. And so it's anywhere from a 1, 1, 1.5, 1 and 2, all that sort of thing, all the way down to the 5 5s. And you've got to get at least 1 in each of those boxes, and that's your DT loop. Now, if you get 2 in all of those boxes, that means you've done like 2 DT loops. You get 3 in each box, 3, and so on and so forth. So is that right, Peter?
That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. I thought so. So, NT, I'll hand this one over to you now.
All righty. Okay, so with the DT loops, in third position, we have the Tritons, and they have actually completed 20.91 DT loops. So that's 21.
They're an incredible team. It's Chris and Lorraine. And Chris, you talked about monkeys before. Chris is a real monkey.
You'd have to be, wouldn't you?
And they will target caches just to do their DT loop.
The DT.
And we were following them at one stage, and there's their name. And they live in Geelong, I think, in Melbourne. And there's them. There's everyone that we want to do. They've done it. Doesn't matter where it was, Queensland and Sydney.
Well, you guys are renowned for your DT loops as well. Do you know your numbers? Do you know what you've done?
I do.
You do come. You're actually at 13th in Australia for your DT loop. What are you at the moment?
10.
10 point what?
Oh, one away. We're 1 away from 11, so that would be 10.97.
Close, 10.98. Look at that. He knows his own stats. Now this is all about the numbers. You see what I mean about all about numbers? This isn't the numbers, guys.
Well, We were stopping at 10 because Cath doesn't like me climbing up trees or going into caves.
Falling off kayaks, fast running rivers.
All right, NT, who we got as number 2?
Number 2 is Fur Faces LL, and they have 23.91 loops.
My God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you know those guys?
No, I don't, but I think they're in Canberra, aren't they?
Canberra. I think they're ACT. Yeah, they're ACT. They'd be ACT.
And they only just started a few years ago, and yet they've done like 28,000 cases or something.
Correct.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
I
that's
would have mentioned
incredible.
that just a little bit later, yes.
I think they go to the US a lot, and they actually help put out like huge power trails, like 3,000 cache power trails. So they help put them out, and then they claim them after someone else has claimed them. So they're doing very well.
Yeah. That's an interesting idea.
That's a topic for another. That's a topic for another podcast. That one. And what about number 1?
Okay,
we
number
mentioned this person already.
Yep.
Who's number 1?
Bella at Waggy. So how's Waggy or Woggy?
Waggy.
Okay. And Bella was his dog.
And
I do believe.
And that is
What's he at?
36.97. So
Wow.
one short of 37.
37
37
loops.
So that person has done 37.55 geocaches.
Yes.
That's
36 at
very
least.
impressive. He
It's
travels a
extremely
lot, so
impressive.
he obviously targets all of those. He was here in Port Macquarie one day because he also wants to keep his average DT up. And we were doing a sit-ho, and someone said to him, "Oh, there's a cache just across the road in that bus stop." And he goes, "What is it? What DT is it?" And they said, "Oh, it's a 1.5. No, not interested."
Wow.
But again, see, it's all about the numbers for that for him, but a different type of number. See, this is the question. This is the whole thing, the whole show. I love it.
All right.
What else do we have next? Oh, next, of course. Now, this one here is not actually counted by GC.com, believe it or not, but it is a statistic counted on Project GC. And no, sorry, not. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Project DC. What are you looking at?
Oh, top FTFs.
Or you've gone somewhere top hidden.
Oh, we're up to top hidden. Sorry.
Too far away.
I am. I'm always ahead of myself. Go, NT.
All right. What about top hidden? Okay. At number 3, we have Fredo with 859 geocaches hidden.
So this is actual geocaches people and their hides, their number of hides. Now, obviously, this would be a lot to do with like either GeoArt or Power Trails, for instance, like you guys as well. But they've hidden them under their own accounts, I dare say. So what was number 3? Fredo. Well, how much did that have?
Yes. 859.
Wow.
It's a lot of maintenance, isn't it?
That's what I was thinking. Actually, number 1. At number 2, we have 3LG, and they have 1,099 hides.
Wow, that's incredible. Yep. That's huge.
And at number 1, here we go. Fishy Tails has 1,735. And I think that person would spend most of their time doing maintenance instead of actually finding geocaches.
I think that's actually a group of people which is headed by Fredo.
Oh, there you go. Ooh.
And so it's actually headed by Fredo, who's also got number 3rd. He's 3rd in Australia for hides. He is busy. He would be busy.
There you go. All right. Moving on to the next stat, we have.
Next up is the FTFs. So the FTFs, as I said before, they're not counted by GC.com as a statistic, but they are counted as a statistic by Project GC. Thank goodness.
Yes. All right.
Now, NT, before we start.
At the end.
Not this? You want to do this at the end, do you?
Yep.
Okay. Okay, do this again. Number 3. Who's number 3?
Number 3 is 3LG. So 3LG has had 1,480 FTFs. That's first to find.
Finds.
So
Far out.
the first person to find that geocache as soon as it's been published. After it's been published. 1,480.
Power Trails.
Must be a Power Trails of some sort for sure. Could be.
And in the number 2 position, we have. Would you like to try pronouncing this one for me?
No. It's all yours. You did these.
It is Chihuahua. CHW. Is that how you say it?
Chihuahua from WA.
Chihuahua. Yeah.
And they have 1,818 first to finds.
I think he's a reviewer too.
Ooh.
Ah, there you go. See, Peter's here letting all the secrets out. I love it. I love it. And are we ready? Number one.
Okay.
Number one still in the chat room. Ready for this? Number one is in the chat room, and number one has just got the number one spot only in the last couple of weeks, I do believe.
Yes.
And who's that? Who's number one for
Number
FTF?
one is me. No, it's not
No,
me.
it's not.
It is actually Tank Engine. So Tank Engine
Hey,
has
There you
found
go. First to find.
1,888 first to finds.
Now
That's
that to me
incredible.
is an FTF hound.
That's
a
an
hound.
amazing job. Now, I'm just going to have a brag for a moment just here. This is my turn to brag. Okay, so
This is all you.
I was traveling back home from a funeral one day, and I got my family to stop at a rest area so I could find a geocache because there was a new one that had only just been published, and my kids wouldn't let me do any geocaching that weekend. So I was like, oh, we need to stop for a rest stop, you know. Anyway, so I was able to find this geocache, and I was actually the first to find this geocache, and it was only 30 minutes out of Canberra. And I was really impressed with myself actually having beaten Tank Engine to a first to find. Seriously, it was in
Did
his
Tank Engine get second? Did he
Oh,
get second to find?
Yeah, no, he was there only probably within an hour.
yes. So you didn't meet him there.
No, but like, yeah, judging by the logs, he was only there a short time after I left. I actually beat into something.
Wow. That's impressive. That's impressive.
That's actually a lot of first to find. So 1,888.
That's
Yes,
amazing.
that's a lot more than a lot of people have actually
Found.
got numbers total. That's right. Let alone first to find.
That many caches myself.
Exactly. Actually, from a professional point of view, I wonder how many speeding fines he's had.
It's probably a police officer, and he can just sort of put on the bells. Or
Oh yeah, probably.
Put on sirens and go for it. Like anyone.
All right.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the top finders. Now this is total numbers here, isn't it?
Yes, this is total finds throughout the world. But
Throughout the world.
they are Australian geocachers.
Yeah, actual people. That's right. Actually,
Correct.
before we move on, Tank Engine is in the chat room, and he said he's only had one speeding fine.
Oh, well done.
Geocaching related.
It would be. I'm sure it would be geocaching related. So sorry, we'll get back to the top finders.
Right,
so we're gonna do state, not Australia wide, but statewide. Yeah.
Statewide and then Australia wide. So
Okay. Cool.
We're going to go in alphabetical order.
Well, that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously the first one's going to be the ACT.
ACT.
All right. So in third position for ACT for finds around the world is Soldaloon with 24,786 finds altogether.
And that's third.
Yes. And
wow.
Technically, that's not actually all of them. But I'll talk about that shortly.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I think I know where you're going with that. But anyway, who's number two?
Number two is Albeida 33 with 26,279.
Jeez.
Again,
numbers
that's
are
not
huge.
actually all of his geocaches found in Australia either. There's more. But anyway.
And number one we have for ACT
is Fur Faces LL with 34,264 finds.
Wow, that's incredible.
There you go.
34,000.
Yep.
Wow. All right, let's move on to New South Wales.
All right, so New South Wales, we have. Okay, so this is. Well, just make note that we've got Pprass actually in Victoria.
Yes, Pprass.
So
he come up from Victoria, so.
Okay, so in New South Wales, we have at number 3 Rooster Man with 23,731.
Yep.
Creeping up on you there.
Yeah, he's already told me that he's chasing us.
See, it is all about the numbers.
What was your numbers again that you think you've got again?
26,058.
Okay, all right. So according
they found a couple in the last 3 days.
According to Project GC, at number 2 is the Drovers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
At 26,495.
Yeah.
So they are at number 2. That would mean that if you were actually in the New South Wales count, you would be in at number 3.
Yep, that's right.
There you go.
Right.
We used to be number 1, and then Di Morgan were hell bent to try and overtake us, and they did, because they did massive amount of power trails. And then the drovers, this is the worst bit, the drovers who lived in Mandurah or wherever it is in WA, they moved across and lived in Wagga Wagga, and then they went away for 2 or 3 months in the US and did like 8,000 caches in 2 or 3 months. And
you can in the States, yeah, you can. And so, did we say number 1?
No, but you did.
No.
Yeah, Peter did. He mentioned
Peter did.
Di Morgan.
But Di Morgan. How many have Di Morgan got?
Okay, someone's microphone's going. Di Morgan have 27,339.
And where are they from?
New South Wales.
The town.
Oh,
Sorry. Actually, speaking of hides, when I first started geocaching, within the first week, I went up to Port Macquarie to visit friends of mine muggle friends who told me about geocaching. And the first 100 finds for me were pretty much all Di Morgan's actual hides in Port Macquarie.
Yeah.
And Bill and Di are the ones that got me addicted to geocaching.
Oh, really? And they've got nice hides. They've got innovative hides.
Yeah, very, very clever. And I love how Bill recycles things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Ask, is anybody else having trouble hearing Craig?
Yep.
Okay, your microphone's mucking up.
That sound.
No,
That's not good.
No.
All
right, you keep going.
Okay. Now then, where were we up to? That's right. We've just done ACT in New South Wales. We're up to Northern Territory. Okay. So in position number 3, we have CAD 1, and they have 2,924 finds.
Let's move to Northern Territory.
So if I were to be in the top 10, I could easily just actual location to Northern Territory, and I'd be like Sheeran. Yeah.
I'm back. Is that better?
Yes, you're better.
Yep.
There we go.
Right. And then at number 2, we have Doodlebug Oz with 5,395 finds. So there you go. And number 1, we have Karuna Road with 6,275.
Let's be honest though. We look at those numbers and we think, they're nowhere near the other states. But then again, let's be honest here and say there's not much there. It's
very vast. There's like a lot of space between towns and things. So
we saw that when we went to the Red Centre event. That was was incredible.
So it's not like easy to go out and find a geocache. I know like living out in Dubbo when you're working and you can't travel all the time. Yeah.
And then you're forced to use other platforms like Munzie and stuff.
Yes, I got into Dubbo.
Doesn't Project GC give you the kilometres travelled? Because I bet you those guys would have probably the highest kilometres travelled to do just those 6,000 caches.
Yeah, definitely. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
See, we didn't even think of that, Linda.
Yeah, no, but like if you change location, like
true.
I have recently, will that change how many kilometers I did?
True.
If you change your home location. Anyhow, let's move on.
Queensland. We're up to Queensland.
Number 3 is Team Robbins. We have 13,533.
Nice couple.
Nice.
Yeah, and number 2 is Muff 1 with 15,820. And coming in at number 1 for Queensland is If. If has.
If's got number 1?
Yep, 31,799.
He hasn't really got it started.
But he's the one with the good logs, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yes, he does travel around constantly. Yes.
Yeah. Well, at this point in time, Peter, let's be honest, you're in Victoria.
Well, we'll be nowhere then.
Exactly. Okay, let's move to South Australia. South Australia, we have
number 3
in third.
Fredo with 31,465.
Wow.
2 is Money Dork with 34,737.
Wow.
And at number 1 is
Ah,
Liz and Bruce, and they have 49,112.
That's interesting because they now live in Maryborough in Queensland.
Oh,
yeah, but the same as you guys. They've still got their home bases in
I
South
haven't
Australia.
got it.
yeah. According to Project GC anyway. Yes.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Now, Tasmania. Okay, number 3 is Membersec with 11,317. Number 2 is Tassie Trekkers with 16,095 fines.
They'd be from Tasmania with a name like that for sure. See,
No.
they can't move. They can't move anywhere else. The poor thing.
No. They found a lot of geocaches, so it can't be just in Tasmania.
That's right. That's right. And number 1 for Tasmania.
Number 1 is Two Eyes Tassies with 21,338.
See, these Tasmanians, they love their state, don't they? Two wise Tassies.
Yeah. And they spend most of their time in Australia, in mainland Australia.
Oh,
Lucky it's the mainland Australia.
saved yourself there, yeah.
He did. All right, let's move on to Victoria, because this is what Pprass is after. Victoria.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I went for number 3 for Victoria is actually Pprass.
What?
25,000 or 26,000 and something, wasn't it now?
Yeah.
25,987. Now,
Oh, that doesn't include the lab caches.
No, so this I think it does include the lab caches, but this is about 3 days ago. Like this Project GC doesn't update for about 3 or 4 days from the time. So have you guys done 100 caches in the last 3 days?
No, we've done about 50. But when I looked at Project GC, the numbers were spot on. It was the total number of ordinary caches plus 75 lab caches that it says.
That's what it'd be then. This would be wouldn't include the labs in that case then. No.
This is why I had the disclaimer at the start, because
that's right.
Okay, so now if I was to take you out of that, because you're actually from New South Wales now, number 3 would have gone to Rob MC with 24,220.
Yeah.
G'day, Rob. Beat ya.
At the moment.
All right.
Number 1.
Number
2. Sorry.
Alan C with 29,342.
And he caches on his own.
Oh, there you
really?
go. Wow, he's doing pretty well then.
He does very well.
Busy boy.
Yep. And number 1 is Macamob with 33,986.
Yeah.
And almost the same amount of path tags.
They used to be the top caches in Australia until Liz and Bruce came back from their huge stay in Western Australia. They were tripping around in 2006 for 2 or 3 years around Western Australia when there was hardly any caches to do. And then when they came back to the East Coast, they just went nuts and overtook everyone.
Just for new people listening, if someone's out there listening to this podcast and you're new to geocaching, don't let these big numbers sort of be disheartening, because I mean these guys have been geocaching now almost since it began, 19 years ago. So I know not all of them, but still, there's some people out there who've been caching for 10 years and have got only a couple of hundred finds, which is still good.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that, but this tonight is mostly about the numbers, and we're just basically giving out kudos, if you like, one of a better word, to these big numbered finders. So yes,
that's right. Yes,
we go to WA.
Is WA, Western Australia. Number 3 is Felix 2, I think it is.
Yep,
that's it.
Yep, it's 22,424.
Jeez, these are some big numbers.
Yeah. At
number 2,
we have KB with 23,835 finds.
Mm.
And at number 1 is Everlasting with 29,325.
Wow.
And that's very impressive with her handicap.
Yep.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
And what other stats have we got now?
I have got a couple more stats here quickly. I know we're running a bit squishy on time.
That's okay.
So Australian caches with only Australian cache finds counted.
Oh, that'd be
What does that mean?
just the ones that are found in Australia.
Oh, yeah, true,
So
true.
Australian geocachers, the people
Yes.
finding Australian geocachers.
Oh, okay. So this takes out all like the people who travel overseas ones.
Correct.
So that means this statistic means that I've found 900 less caches.
Yeah, you shouldn't have gone over to do that.
Yeah, no, see, now this is actually really, really, really unfriendly to some people. So as you're going to see here at number 3 is Liz and Bruce, actually.
Number 3.
Number 3 for the Australian finds.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
With 29,383. So
That's Australian finds. Yep.
Australian finds we're remembering here. All right.
And number 2.
Number 2 is Macamob with 30,069. And then
so who's number 1 then?
Number 1 is actually If. So If has 30,715. And if you look at his numbers before, that's like he's only found 1,000 elsewhere.
Wow. He loves Australia, so that's good.
He does.
Now, I'm just going to quickly.
He can't take his Hilux overseas.
Now, I will actually just make a mention here of the other geocaching website. Okay, so Geocaching Australia, it's existed since almost the beginning of geocaching, and there are a lot of actual traditional and like actual containers and geocaches that people find. And I'm going to use one example here. Soldaloon was at 28th position on this one. I'm finding Australian geocaches. However, if you added in his Geocaching Australia finds, that's not including the location list. That's just the other ones. He would actually have been up at number 6. So he's actually found a lot of Australian geocaches on the other website.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of other names that we've actually got in here as well, like Tassie Trekkers, Alberta 33. There's a few other names in here who have got the same kind of thing, but not the numbers that SDL has.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, just wanted to mention that.
Because we all know you're a GCA lover.
I am a GCA finder and have been a GCA finder. Let's go there. All right. Stop right there. Okay, so Australian caches with worldwide finds.
So this is the opposite way. So this is the people who've from Australia but cache overseas. Yeah.
So this is including Australia and worldwide. Okay, so this is it. Geocaches.
Oh, so this is our total. So this is
like, you know, if you're at this is the award kind of.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right, here we go. So coming in at number 3 is Fur Faces LL with 34,264 finds in total. Now, I'm going to especially mention them for a moment because they did only start in 2011. So compared to the other people around them, both above and below them, they have actually done really well with their finding.
So what's that work? We got a calculator. What's that work out? 8 years. 8 years.
8 years.
34,000 in 8 years.
Yep.
Come on, Peter. You used to be an accountant. What's that work out to be per year?
I'll just look at the calculator.
20,000. 5. Is it 8,000 a year?
Yeah.
No. Is it?
No. Yeah, but I reckon about 8,000 a year.
Yeah.
Wow, that is huge.
It's a huge amount, regardless. So
that is huge.
Well. So I think they deserve a special mention there. So
yeah,
all right.
Definitely.
Okay, moving on. Number 2 position for Australian geocachers finding caches worldwide is Money Dork with 34,737.
Wow, these are some big numbers.
Yep, and of course,
number 1 we all should know.
Liz and Bruce, 49,207, which is probably more. Again, we've got this Project GC thing that isn't entirely accurate.
That's right. Yeah, that's about 3 days late. But so Money Dork and Liz and Bruce are both from South Australia, which is interesting.
Yes.
No, Money Dork's originally from New Zealand, by the way.
Oh, there you go.
He came across.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's interesting that showing that Project GC is showing it as South Australia, whereas others like us were showing as the original state.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something they've changed in their settings.
Yeah. Their home settings may have changed.
Actually, funnily enough, I'm just looking right now at my figures, and for South Australia, Liz and Bruce, it says 49,112. But for the worldwide, it's
49,207.
49,207.
Yeah.
That's different.
And
Yeah.
it's the same measurement on the same website, but they're two different numbers. Go figure.
Well, and T, in that case, then Lisenbruch, Australia's number one. Where do they sit worldwide?
Oh, yes. So,
Yeah, go on.
know what were you going to say?
Hang on, I'm going to say, what do you reckon, Peter? Where do you think
I
they
reckon
sit?
they're 126th in the world, and I'll tell you a little story after.
Okay. So what are they actually from Project GC as of an hour ago?
On Project GC, it says that they are actually 134th in the world.
So you're very close, Peter.
Right.
Very close.
Well, this is an interesting thing. They have a top in Australia, right?
Yeah.
But everything's relative. They want to be the top, within the top 100 of the world.
Okay.
So we're all going, playing around in our little backyard, but they're looking at the global picture.
Yep.
And they're going to the US in April for a few months, and they'll quickly get a whole heap of caches there, and probably get within that 100 level.
Something to look out for.
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. There you go.
So in that case, then, if Lisenbruch are 134th and they're on 49,000, who is number one, and what's their numbers?
Okay, number one
in the world.
Number one in the world with finding geocaches is Alla Mogul.
Alla Mogul.
I think I've pronounced that right. I hope I
It
wrote
looks,
it right.
Yeah, it looks right. It looks right.
Alla Mogul has 191,560.
Wow. Wow. Wait, so I think they started very early. They would have had to have.
They did. They actually started in 2002.
Yeah.
There you go.
Have you seen any of their logs?
we didn't research that deep.
Have they been to Australia yet?
What do they say? FT, thanks for the cache. What do they say?
Yeah, TFTC.
Stops or something. Oh.
Oh dear. Now we'd like to apologise to our friends over in NZ. We didn't actually incorporate you guys too much into this. However, we will incorporate you guys in our social media posts that are coming up in regards to the numbers. So yes. So NZ, we do apologise for not actually having your numbers, but they are coming out on our social medias. Oh dear. So there you have it, guys. Is it really about the numbers? Of course it is. But what numbers we were referring to, that differs, I do believe.
Yeah.
We've got another little statistic that we try to achieve, and we're trying to get a high DT average.
Ah, yes, you're one of those.
Yeah, well, there's a challenge cache up at
1.9.
I'll never do that one. That's impossible to do that. Even though I've been up there 3 times anyway. But there's one called 1.8 along the New England Highway near Tenterfield, which we've already signed, but we're just waiting to get to it. And we're 1.82, 1.79.
Oh, so close.
Ooh.
And to get to that 0.01 extra is like the next 2,000 caches we have to do over 2s.
Wow. Actually,
go on.
I'm just going to interrupt you for 1 second because we've had someone in the chat room.
In the chat room too, yes.
Yeah, they know a mogul.
They know of.
They know of a mogul, Alla Mogul. Apparently, they are a group of people in different states in America, and they all log onto the one account.
No.
Ooh.
Oh.
I'm slightly disappointed.
Oh, we didn't. We need to research for longer than that, didn't we? NT. But in saying that, again, that's a talking point. You know, that's the way they want to play the game. That's
all
the
about
way.
The numbers. They have a number of people finding a number of
caches all over.
I'm not sure about that actually, because I saw their cache profile, and it just shows the husband and wife. So unless they're trying to cheat there with not showing the group, but to me it looks like it's just a couple. The same thing happened with CCC Coopers years ago. They were the top caches in the world, and people accused them of being a group. And one guy actually went along with them and followed them on this cache trail. And he said, he reported back and he said, these guys are machines. I couldn't keep up. They were just marching along, finding, signing, moving along, and he was trying to keep up with them without even finding them.
Well, actually, we've got another one in there saying that no, they believe that Alamoglu is one person. So
Yeah,
so there we go. It's out. The jury's out on it, I do believe.
Yeah.
It's something for, again, though, something for discussion. This is what it's about, you know.
That's what we're doing. Yep.
Exactly right, and that's what we're doing about it, which is awesome. That's good to see. All right, we're gonna end the show there on a positive note. Thank you so much for joining us, Peter and Cath.
Pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
And it's good to hear all your opinions too, Cath.
Oh, the socialising bit, the glasses of wine and the talking. That's what I'm good at.
And the cuddles. If you guys meet Peter and Cath at an event somewhere, always give Cath a cuddle. She's so good for a cuddle. I always enjoy my cuddles from Cath.
You guys hang in here. Don't go anywhere.
Yeah, don't go anywhere yet. We haven't finished yet.
When we're finished here, okay?
Yeah, not yet. And those of you who are in the chat room, remember, still keep up because we're getting about to do our goodbyes. So stand by.
And the competition.
Yeah, I'm just editing this part out for the podcast.
Yeah, got it.
So, hey, NT, here we go. Hey, NT, before we talk about next month, we have some awesome prizes to give away from geostuff.com.au. That's geostuff.com.au. I always say it twice. But this is
GOSTUFF.
.com.au. And only to our live viewers tonight. So those of you who are in the chat rooms right now, get ready, get your fingers on the keyboard, because I'm about to ask you a question. And that question is, this show's been all about the numbers, and so we have pre-selected a winning number. Yep. Now, it's between 1 and 100. You have one guess and one guess only. First guess it correctly or nearest to it wins. So go. Those of you who are in the chat room, go right now. One number only between 1 and 100. While you do that, next
week.
We can talk about next month. No, next month.
That's right. Not next week.
That's right. So in line though with the cash carnival theme that's coming up.
Yeah.
Are we going to incorporate something about cool and awesome caches?
We are. Yes. So next month we are. Blah, 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 blah. All right. So actually, what I think would be really great, again, with our people in the chat room and other people listening in, I would like to actually ask you all I'm going to challenge you to find a creative cache. Creative cache. And if you can take a photo or a video of that geocache and advertise our podcast. So you could do a video and just say something about Geocaching Downunder podcast, or you could put writing over top of it if you're really good at doing that kind of thing, or you can send in a photo or a video to us at geocachingdownunder@gmail.com, and we can use it to advertise on our social media to promote our podcast channel.
Exactly right. and if you do post it on your own social media, don't forget the hashtag and
Correct.
hashtag Geocaching Downunder. So just one word, hashtag Geocaching Downunder, and we'll grab it from that.
Yes, and that way we can share it on as well to share it with other people and let them
definitely
see amazing creative caches out there. We want to see them, and you may have already found a creative cache in your area, like these guys here, Pprass. They've found everything. They could go to a creative cache and still do a photo or video of it, showcasing one of their favorites.
And it could be their own even. It could even be your own.
It could be your own.
We've got 2 caches waiting to be published that are very creative. Is Tiddly listening into this? Hurry up and publish them.
Actually, we No Tomorrow and I went and found, and we got FTF on a brand new cache up here. Yeah, and it was an awesome gadget cache. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
You had to knock on the
Correct.
That's the one. See, people do see some of the
That's Matty RX.
Matty RX. Yep. One of the top hiders up here in the north coast of New South Wales. I'm telling you right now.
Can you tell him to stop putting out GCA caches though?
Well, I have spoken to him and said, "Look, mate, to be honest with you, let's you know."
You could actually just find them as well. Like as soon as I've got my car back, as soon as I got another car and I'm allowed to drive, I'm off. I'm going to go find those geocaches because they're too good. He's a great hider, and it's a waste if they don't get found, don't you reckon?
And that's my point exactly. It is a waste. Like, they're good quality caches, and they're going to get found by 5 people in the next 5 years.
That's exactly right.
Why not put them as the worldwide?
For me.
Exactly right.
Why not put them as the worldwide listing and get 55 finds in 5 months and get 55 favorite points?
Well done. Well said.
Well, Matty Rex is in the chat room at the moment. He said there'll be a few more GC ones very soon now. So
I actually had a bucket load of GCA caches out at Dubbo myself, and I switched them all over recently to GC. But it's only so that I can. I have to adopt them out though because I moved. So.
All right, NT, we have a winner.
Oh yes, we do.
We do have a winner. Yes. Now, our pre-selected number hasn't actually been marked. Our pre-selected number was 85. The closest to that is John Burke, is on 84. So the John Burke will contact us on any of our social medias or at geocachingdownunder@gmail.com.au. Gmail.com. And we'll get your details, and the prize pack will be coming to you. And that's thanks to geostuff.com.au. So there you go. John Burke, congratulations.
Well done. Congratulations.
Well done, mate.
Yeah.
Well done.
Did you say what he got?
Yeah, I think it's a prize pack. Now, the prize pack may include some custom design things, such as a pen and also a stamp. So one of those custom stamps. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool indeed. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I want one.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
You'd run out of ink on those power trails.
We don't do them.
All right, guys, we're going to wind it up. It's been a long night tonight, but a great night. So thanks to everyone who jumped in on the live YouTube broadcast tonight. And remember, we record live in the first week of every single month. So make sure you follow us on all our social media pages, so you don't miss out on any of the GeoChat. If you have any questions or comments, please drop us a line at geocachingdownunder@gmail.com. This podcast can be downloaded on any of your favorite social media apps, including Podbean, Stitcher, TuneIns, and now on Spotify as well.
Yes, Spotify.
So that brings us to the end of episode number 7 of the Geocaching Downunder podcast. NT, it's over to you.
Remember, the world is our backyard. And don't just think about it, guys. Plan to get yourselves outside and go and play.
So from the Geocaching Downunder team, we're over and out.
All right.
Now stay with us.
Hold on.
Stay with us, guys. Don't go out anywhere because
chat with our people in the chat room if you're still
that's
there.
Right. That's right.
Yeah.
So
without
no, they're all still there. There's a whole heap in tonight.
Hopefully they stayed on because we can't chat to them properly while we're actually doing the recording. So now we can.
Yeah, it is. Now we can.
Everyone.
So we have we've got a heap in the chat room tonight. Anyone from Kitty Catch is in there, and Matty RX, Kai Zabra is in there as well. Rod Lyons in there, Tattooed Squared, the Bebes, Little Miss Longlegs, Kungula's in there too. Kungula says to say hello. Can you guys see the chat room at all? No.
No.
That's all right.
Google Hangout showing.
That's all right.
Hey, Pat. We did your series the other day.
That's right. They've got a series out. I haven't done that series yet, mind you. They beat. I was just going down to the Newcastle events recently, and I'm on the way down, and I met Kungula at your event there. Tomorrow, the camping one.
Oh yes.
And I saw that they had a multi and a traditional close by, and I was due for a stop anyway. Stopped off. Do you think I could find either of those two caches?
Oh
no.
No.
Do you think they're actually still there? Yes.
Of course they are. And did you say that Kai Zabra's there on the chat?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, Kai Zabra's in the chat as well.
We've got a funny story about him. We were in Pprass, I think it was, doing a cache in one of those massive trucks. You know, those big trucks that hold like 100 tons of ore. And we couldn't find this cache. And I happened to have his phone number, and I knew he lived in Perth. So I rang him up and I said, can you give us, and he didn't answer. Then about 10 minutes later, he rang back, and I said, look, just need some help about this cache. And he goes, where are you? And I told him at this cache at the information centre. It was a big truck. And he goes, I'll be there in 10 minutes. I said, what? from Perth. So he just happened to fly in to do his contract job, and he came around and sort of hot and cold found the cache.
I know. That's one thing with these people who actually get to travel for work. Like, you know, Kai Zabra, he travels for work. He's everywhere all over Australia. Who's a lot of Big Matt and Shell. Big Matt travels everywhere as well for work.
Yeah.
You know, how hard it'll be. You know, I might go and find a cache today. Where are you? Oh, Melbourne. Oh, I find a cache today. Where are you? Oh, I'm Brisbane. You know, like, jeez.
So that's how we met him, huh?
Yeah, no, Kai Zabra is a really nice guy. Actually, I've got a story with Kai Zabra as well. As you guys are aware, I use my my, what do you call it, podcasting. It's not podcast. What's it called again?
iPhone.
Yeah. But the Periscope.
Periscope.
I use Periscope, and I do live video feeds. Well, Kai Zabra was doing some Periscoping. This is going back a couple of years ago now as well. And we met up at Sydney Airport. And we both periscoped at the same time, the same cache, while we're there together. It was actually quite funny. It was like a periscope inception.
Copying each other.
Yeah, exactly right. I was copying, he was copying me. We're so busy just looking at ourselves in our phones, we forgot that we were there to find a cache. Ah, yes. Who else says hello in there? It was Rodline and plus wife says to say hi as well. Tattooed Squared's in there. You know, you guys know Tattoo.
Gary and Danielle.
They're another. They're Port Mac people, I tell you.
They are nice, very nice people.
Yes. And
is that Kitty Catch?
Yes, that's Kitty Catch.
Kitty Catch says hi. Hey, Pprass, looking forward to catching up in Canberra in 6 weeks.
Yeah, they're in Goulburn, aren't they? Or she?
Yeah. Is she? No. Is she in Goulburn? No, she's not in Goulburn.
We're thinking probably Mini K.
Yeah, you're thinking. Yeah. Kitty Catch is Canberra.
Canberra, okay. Oh,
Kitty Catch is ACT through and through. Actually, I do believe from their social media posts that they did had a festival or some sort, like a normal festival, and they actually had a geocaching stand at the festival thing at the markets, and Kitty Catch was there.
Okay.
Getting in some new people, some new blood.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so that was cool. That was pretty good. Kungula is actually leaving very soon for Queanbeyan. How far out? How far out is that? That's like 6 weeks out, isn't it?
Yeah, 6 weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
After luck, that'd be lovely, wouldn't it? Let's just go for a nice long
ask Pat where he's going to camp during his trip down, because the joke is that he'll camp at a roundabout.
What? Okay.
He'll find anywhere to camp overnight, and it's amazing where he camps.
He said he's got a lot of camping, so that's all he says. He doesn't say where. He just says he's got a lot of camp. In Gunning, he said.
Oh, Gunning, yep.
Gunning, yeah. And he said it is true that he does camp on roundabouts. All right, we've got to see Addie Barber. Oh, that's ADI. She's wondering how to get to the OzGM from Melbourne. Well, you can either drive or fly.
Must be a bus.
Or a bus. Actually, there's a train station in Wollongong. So
yeah, but you can't catch a train all the way up from Melbourne, though.
No, you can't. I've never been to Melbourne by train. No, you can to Brisbane, can't you?
Trains going through.
Ah, there you go. Who else have we got there? Julie Arnold said her and Kitty Catch are going to be camping at the Queanbeyan Mega too, so they'll see it at the Queanbeyan Mega.
People at
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, they're going to be camping there, which is good. You'd think some people who live local, they wouldn't obviously camp, but you know what? It's all about the socialization. That's what we said before.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Greg says, don't forget your blue ribbon, Pat.
You guys got to explain that to me.
Yeah, I don't know that one either. The blue ribbon on the cars.
Ribbon when you went to
Alice. That's right. We had red ribbons on Alice, and then for Queanbeyan now they're doing the blue ribbon. So make sure you
find a ribbon and you tie it to what?
Tie it to either your car or your vehicle of some sort. Basically, so people like Kungula who are camping, they've got like a blue ribbon hanging off their caravan or their car. So if you're pulling up on your way there too, and you see another blue ribbon, you know that they're geocachers.
Ah, nice. I like
Yeah,
it.
we did a red ribbon in for the trip to Alice, and
Mark Holden had green.
Green.
that's right. Mark Holden had the green as well. So yeah, it's pretty
Mm.
cool. It's pretty cool.
Okay.
So yeah, it's very good. Let me see. For you guys, Pprass and Cath, Kiara and Riley says to say hi as well.
G'day, Kiara, Riley.
They should be there by now.
Yeah.
And Tilly. Tilly says to say hello as well.
Hi, Tilly.
Tilly.
You're supposed to
Little
do
miss.
something with glitter glue on my mint tin, remember?
Oh, there you go, Tilly. Something to do with a glitter glue. Wonder what that one's about. We'll soon see what that was about.
Still up. We're keeping them awake.
we are. We are. The longer
Hello.
they're
Hi,
saying that.
Riley and Tilly. Are they still in Tasmania?
No.
No, they just got back.
Oh, they got back, did they? Yeah, yeah. So the kids were there saying, "No, keep talking, Craig. Keep talking. It's good. We stay up longer." So yes. All right, guys, we might leave it there for tonight. Thank you all for joining us in the live chat room. It's been great to see so many people in the chat room tonight, which proves to say that it is about the numbers, because we haven't had that many people in the chat room. Either that or the amount of people in the chat room is all for Peter and Cath. That's what it is.
Of course, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
They knew you guys was coming on. They thought, oh, we got celebrities, geo celebrities with us tonight.
Yeah. It better not be beaten then.
All right, guys, we're going to say goodbye to the live chat room. So say goodbye, guys.
Bye, everyone. And